Hello, everyone out there in Rumble, X, and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego. And today we're going to continue to talk about your favorite movie. Not my favorite movie, your favorite movie, Mamma Mia, the first one, not the second one. Not the second one. I'm not even going to try to watch the second one, all right? To watch the first one was enough. That was enough for me. I don't need to see the second one. I don't care what happens. All right? I really don't care about these characters, all right? I'm not invested in them at all. All right, but I did say that I did something that I don't usually do. What I decided to do for this one was I decided that I was just going to pick a random chick flick, one that was well known, that I've never seen before or ever had any interest in watching. Okay, definitely not something I would watch normally. All right, and so I picked Mamma Mia because I kind of remember when it came out. I lived in a big city. I lived in Chicago when the Broadway show came out, and so I heard about it, like I worked, the place that I worked, there's a lot of actors there, okay, comedians, models, that kind of stuff. We all worked together and stuff. And a lot of the gay people I worked with, they would talk about this show, Mamma Mia, a lot, all right? And so did a lot of the girls, but I had no interest in it. I liked ABBA. I loved their music. I grew up listening to ABBA. When I was a toddler, I remember them playing ABBA songs on the radio. My mom would play it on the radio. My aunts and cousins and stuff, they would dance to ABBA. I remember that era very well, even though I was like 3 years old or something. But that was the height of disco. Okay, that was the peak of disco back then. All right, but obviously disco died out, and so did ABBA. Okay, so this was a revival of that time. The people wanted to, 20 years later, people wanted to relive their youth in disco and in ABBA, so they created this musical, right, Mamma Mia, which was successful because it's a Broadway show, it's musical theater, okay, and it attracts a lot of women, older women, and it attracts a lot of gay guys. All right, and so that kept this production going. So they say, hey, we made enough money on the Broadway show, let's make a movie out of it too. So they did, and of course they hired a bunch of people that couldn't freaking sing, like Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep can act, okay? She can act. She's one of the best actresses out there in the world. She cannot sing, okay? I'm sorry, she cannot sing, okay? And don't even start on Pierce Bronson, okay? Oh my God, dude, that guy sounds like chalk, okay? When he's trying to sing, all right? It's horrible. All right, and I've seen some musicals. Typically, I don't like musicals, but I did see Chicago when that came out because I lived in Chicago. I actually worked around the corner from the Chicago theater where that movie takes place. So that's kind of weird. It was very surreal watching that movie when the theater was right there. Okay, and I seen that show. That was with Renee Zellweger and Catherine Zeta-Jones and Richard Gere, and I saw that movie. Okay, and I was pleasantly surprised when Richard Gere started singing. I was like, oh my God, I did not know that freaking Zach Mayo knew how to sing. Okay, I did not know. All right, so that was kind of cool. All right, I was pleasantly surprised, but at the same time, I was not pleasantly surprised watching this. Okay, they sound like crap. These actresses and actors sound like crap. They're not professional singers. Okay, they can't even do a decent cover of these ABBA songs. So no, they get no points from me. Okay, these songs are horrible. Okay, not sorry, the songs are not horrible. The way they're saying is horrible. It's horrible. You talk about butchering the music, okay? When I think of ABBA, when I listen to an ABBA song, for example, like Fernando or something, I know the voice, okay? These girls, these Swedish girls that sang it, I can hear their voice. I know what this song's supposed to sound like. But to hear, someone like one of Meryl Streep's friends singing it, it doesn't sound right at all. These women cannot sing. They can't sing, they can act, they cannot sing. Okay, and it was and I wondered why. Why didn't they just get voiceovers? Okay, I thought that was standard. Especially in the golden age of Hollywood, a lot of these musicals that you saw back in the day, man, those actresses and actors were not singing. They had a voice double that actually sang the songs. Okay, so I figured they would do that here. But when I heard this crap that was coming out of their mouth, it sounded terrible. I'm holding my ears. I'm like, okay, what? Did they really do their own singing? And I looked it up, and sure enough, Meryl Streep did her own singing, and so did Pierce Bronson. Okay, and so did Stellan Skarsgård. Okay. And so did Colleen Cook Firth. Okay, they all did their own singing. No wonder it sucks. These are not singers. These are not singers. But that's not even the biggest problem I have with the movie. That's just an annoyance with the movie. Okay, a big annoyance, but just an annoyance. The biggest problem I have is the implausibility of the script and how they make these women strong and tough by making all the men weak and stupid. I know that's the typical playbook for all the chick flicks, all the rom-coms. It's always the same. Okay, I reviewed every single episode of Sex and the City. Every single one. It's on this channel, okay? And that was always the biggest problem I had with Sex and the City, okay? Even though I love the show, the biggest problem I had, there were no men on that show, or very few men, okay? We had a bunch of strong, independent women who thought they were a lot better looking than they really were. And you had a bunch of weak, stupid, cowardly men, okay? That did not act like men, okay? And that was the biggest problem I had. And it's the same thing. I keep seeing the same pattern over and over again in these chick flicks. Okay, the women act like strong, empowered, tough, independent, feminist, third wave feminist women. The men act like a bunch of cucks, soy boys, you know, easily complacent, easily obedient at whatever third wave feminist is standing next to them at whatever given moment, which is all of them. Okay, they have no agency. They have to be led around. Okay, and they have no fortitude. Okay, they have nothing to stand on. Okay, and what I mean by that is they don't have any sort of a moral compass. In such as far as, like, you know, there's things that they will allow, there's things they won't allow. Nobody has that. None of the men have that. They will let any woman do whatever the hell they want, and there'll be no pushback at all from them. Okay, that's if they get cheated on, if they get lied to, if they get manipulated, if they get tricked. Okay, you know, there's no pushback. Okay, automatic forgiveness doesn't need to be said, and not only that, but the women are still allowed to abuse them. Okay, that's just bullshit. Okay, maybe you can find one character like that. I'll give you that one. One of those guys is that way. Maybe that's the reason, you know, Donna didn't want to be with that guy, is because he was a limp dick soy boy, you know. But all three of those men in this movie are that way too. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, I know they're trying to make Donna look strong and empowered by making the men look weak, but it actually doesn't work, because there was no straight men that actually reviewed this movie. They didn't screen this movie before it came out, because if they had, a straight guy would have told you, no, okay, this does not make Donna look strong and empowered, okay, and valuable to men and attractive to men. It makes her look worse, okay, because it tells us, the man, that the only men she can get are stupid, insecure, spineless, you know, limp dick cucks. Those are the only men that she can attract, which lowers her value. It doesn't empower her. You see what I mean? It makes her even lower. You know, I mean, look at me. I could pretend that I'm this big stud, that all these women love me. Okay, I could act that way. But then when you see me coming down the street with like 5 women and all of them are like fucking 300 pounds, the joke is on me. You see what I mean? The joke is on me. It makes me look worse. Like, all I can get is fat girls. You see what I'm talking about? And that's what this looks. This is what Donna looks like. She doesn't look like some seductress, like some woman who knows how to talk to men and get men to do what she wants and fall in love with her, you know, and give her their life savings. She doesn't come across that way. She comes across as a fucking as a pathetic, desperate woman who cannot get a high value man. Because these men might be trapped in high value, okay? Because, for example, Bill is an award-winning travel author. He has a motorcycle, he has a Harley, he has a boat. Okay, he's a man of adventure. He's got tattoos on his ass, okay, and on his knees. Yeah, whatever. Okay, Matthew, what's his name? Harry Bright. Okay, Colin Firth's character. He's a well-established banker. Okay, very wealthy. All right, and then you got Pierce Brosnan's character, Sam. He's also a very wealthy, successful architect in New York. Okay, these are high-value guys, okay? But once you get to know their personality, they're all weak. They're all weak. They have no fortitude. They have no self-confidence even, really. They let women walk all over them. No pushback, no boundaries. They're not even upset that they got tricked into coming to this island. And when they find out that they got tricked into coming to the island, they're still agreeable to Sophie, who tricked them. You see what I mean? And when Donna finally sees that the men are here, these fuck buddies from her past all showed up at the same time, okay, she starts treating them like shit. With no thought that, you know what? One of these guys is your daughter's father. And you did not tell them. Okay, if anyone should feel guilty right now, it should be you, Donna. Not them. They got tricked to come over here. Okay? You purposely withheld that information from them for 21 years. Okay? So if anyone should feel guilty and remorseful, it should be her, but she's not. Instead, she treats them like shit and tells them to get the fuck off my island. I don't want you here. I got shit going on. I got no time to deal with you. Now, maybe I can understand her feeling that way towards Sam, Pierce Brosnan's character, because from what we know so far in the movie, she was legitimately in love with him, okay? But he left her to go marry another woman. So I can understand her being upset, okay, with him. But Bill and Harry, those guys didn't do any of that. She just fucked him. She just fucked him. They were just fuck buddies. Rebounds, maybe, I don't know. But you know what? We find out later on that Harry was actually in love with Donna. He's never been in love with any other woman. Well, that's because he's gay. He likes it up the ass. But the one time he fell in love with a woman, it was Donna. And I guess he was waiting for her to turn him straight, and it just never happened. So he's stuck with, fucking his dogs, his pet dogs. But anyway, that's another story. That's another movie. But the point is that none of these men acted like real men. Okay? And it bothers me when I see that. It really does. Okay? Because I know that men don't act this way. Okay, now I'm not just saying that because I am one, okay? Men I know do not act this way. Every once in a while you will get a few, and I know some of you know them, ladies. I know that. I know there's some weak-willed men out there, okay? I've known plenty in my life, okay? I even acted that way too when I was younger, much younger, okay? So I get it. I know they exist, okay? But it's not the majority. It's not the majority of men that act that way, that think that way, that are just, happy to let some woman lead him around and tell him what to do and insult him and emasculate him and manipulate him. Okay, there's not very many guys out there that will let that happen. Most of us have a spine. We have a backbone. Okay, just like you do. See what I mean? But you're not going to see that in these movies because the women have to be empowered. They have to be strong. And how do you make a woman strong in these movies? By making all the men dumb. And that just pisses me off. Okay, especially today. It's 2024. This movie came out in 2008. Okay, 2008. 16 years ago, right? It's 2024. And you would think that after all this time, that the movies, like the tone of the movies would have changed, that chick flicks aren't made this way anymore, they don't promote that message anymore, but you would be wrong. Because it's still that way. And only the difference is it's not just the chick flicks that do this anymore, like it did back in the day, like when this movie came out. It's the mainstream movies that do this. Okay? The men are always weak. They're always crying over a woman. They're always eager to fall in love, eager to be faithful, eager to, make her so happy because that's the most important thing in his life is his girlfriend or his wife or whatever. And then she's just like, I don't like you anymore. I'm leaving you for another man. He's like, no. Okay, for the next 2 hours. That's just not realistic. And even for those of us that have been through that before, yeah, I admit it. I've been a soy boy in my past, okay? Especially in my early 20s when I had no self-confidence, okay? But the point is that I didn't stay there. I learned and I fucking toughened up. You see what I mean? And that's what most guys do, but you're not going to see that in a movie. You're not going to see that. All these men are still crying over some bitch fuck buddy they fucked 21 years ago. That's not realistic. They all carry a picture of her in their wallet. Okay, none of them moved on with their lives. None of them had like a family. Okay, Sam had a family, but he had a family with a woman he was not in love with. And he's divorced from her now. So he's got nobody. His kids are grown. Okay? And the other guys are bachelors. They never fell in love again. They never met another woman. They never got married. They never had their own kids. They never got their heart broken by a different woman that they wish they should have gone to her island instead. None of that happened. And that, to me, that's bullshit. These are high-value men. Okay? At least they appear that way. Once you get to know them, you realize they're not. But at least they appear that way. A woman would be attracted to them. Okay? And you don't see that here. You don't see that. That's just crap. To me, that's just crap. That's a load of crap. All right? And that and a bunch of other stuff, okay? Let me look at these women. These women are in their fucking late 50s, for Christ's sake. And they're acting like they're a bunch of hot 22-year-olds. They're not. They're not. Okay? And it's just pathetic. Okay? I know female empowerment my ass. Okay? Sexy is sexy and ugly is ugly. Okay? And it's sad when you've got some real women in their late 50s that look like a bunch of fucking drag queens. Honestly. Honestly. It reminds me of that movie Mommy Dearest with Faye Dunaway. I saw a review. Some gay guy did a review of that movie, and he said that Faye Dunaway was the best woman ever to play a drag queen. And that's the impression I got watching these freaking Hocus Pocus ladies, okay, singing. Okay, it was just bad. It was bad. All right, but anyway, let's get back to where we left off. All right, so anyway, I'm Diego. I'll give you a straight man's point of view. You know that now. All right, and where we left off last time was Sophie. Okay, obviously she's getting married to Sky Raymond, whatever the hell his name is. Yeah, there's a guy named Sky. Well, they stole that name from Guys and Dolls. Okay, that was Marlon Brando's character in Guys and Dolls that came out in the 50s. All right, that's where they got the name from. Okay, and the only reason I know that is because I did musical theater. Okay, so I kind of know a little bit about that. All right, but yeah, so Sky Ryman is supposed to marry Sophie. Okay, anyway, she invited her dads. Okay, because she got her mom's. Oh, you know all this. She got her found her mom's diary, whatever. Okay, where we left off here's the party. Okay, the party before the wedding. The wedding is going to be the next day. So during this little luau, you could say they're having here on the island at night. Okay, Sophie rushes off to dance on a table with Bill. Okay, now Bill's there. Now, one thing you need to know about Bill, like I said, he's the guy with the tattoos on his ass. He's the guy that was a happy-go-lucky, adventurous type of guy. That's probably why Donna was attracted to him. He was a rebound after Sam broke her heart back in the day. By back in the day, I mean 21 years ago when she was 37. Yeah, because she's 59 here. They don't tell us her name, but that's how old Meryl Streep was when she filmed this movie. She's actually 58 when she filmed this movie. It came out when she was 59. So do the math. 21 years minus that. She was 37, 38 years old. Okay, when she got impregnated by one of these three men. Okay, one of the candidates is Bill. Like I said, he's an adventurous guy, whatever, and tattoos on his ass. Anyway, the reason he was on the island, okay, back in the day was because he had an aunt, an old aunt that lived there named Sophia. Obviously, that's the one Sophie was named after. Okay, so he's there, okay, and Sophie rushes off to dance on a table with Bill because he's getting drunk. He's dancing with all the women because he's the only guy that even pretends to be straight in this movie. All the young men that live on this island too, okay, they're all on the other side of the island fucking each other in the ass. All right. Meanwhile, the hot young ladies are all here, and they're all like trying to touch Bill and Harry. But Harry, he's scared of girls. He's trying to find out where the guys are. So he sneaks out of there under the table and tries to run away. But anyway, meanwhile, Bill is getting fondled by all these young women because I know that all women are attracted to 58-year-old men. Anyway, so that's going on here, and Sophie rushes off to dance with him because she's attracted to him too. Okay, with Bill, and he asked where Donna got all the money to buy this villa. Villa Donna is the name of it, on this island, right? So he asked her, hey, where'd your mom get all the money to buy this villa here that she owns? Okay, and Sophie tells him that Donna was left a lot of money from an old lady named Sophia because she used to take care of her when Sophie was little. Okay, so Donna stayed on the island after she got knocked up. She took care of this old lady named Sophia, who obviously is Bill's great aunt that he mentioned earlier. Okay, and so technically, what happened was, okay, is that like I said, Bill had an aunt that lived there. When Bill's aunt died, he was supposed to get an inheritance, but he never got it. So he just assumed that his aunt left that money towards a charity. He never came back to the island to find out what happened. He never showed up for her funeral, or never asked one of his relatives about her, or nothing. He never set foot on this island again, because if he had, he would have run into Donna with a baby girl. And then he would have asked questions. Oh, wait a minute, we fucked, and that kid's the same age that if we'd had a child together when we fucked, if I'd gotten you pregnant when we had sex, that would be that child's age. By the way, where's my fucking money? That's what I would have thought, okay? But Bill doesn't even think that. Instead of him being like, oh my God, that's my fucking money. She must have told my aunt that you were my daughter and that I abandoned her. Thereby, I'm a piece of crap. And thereby, the money she was going to give me, she gave it to Donna, a complete fucking stranger. So obviously that's what happened. That's the reason Sophia gave Donna the money, because she thought that was her great niece. Okay? That's what she thought, because that's what Donna told her. But Donna is a liar. Okay? She did not tell the truth. The truth is, it could have been Bill's kid, or it could have been Sam's kid, or it could have been Harry's kid. But she didn't tell Sophia that, because then she wouldn't have gotten the money. You see what I mean? And she sure as hell never bothered to get a DNA test, because they were available in the 80s and the 90s. To find out exactly which one of those three men was her daughter's father. She never did that either. Okay? And apparently Sophie never had a problem knowing who her real dad was until like a week ago. Okay? Even though she's 20 years old and about to get married. All right? So that all makes no fucking sense. And Bill, of course, is not upset. He's not upset that his old fuck buddy manipulated his aunt to give her the money that belonged to him. He never even mentions that. He's more shocked that Sophie is his daughter than he is that Donna stole his money. You see what I mean? Now, the thought that maybe those other two guys that you were on the boat with that also showed up at the same time, that also knew Donna at the same time you did, that they might actually be the biological father, that thought never occurs to him. Okay? That thought never occurred to him at all. And therefore, because it didn't occur to him, none of that gets played out in the movie. Nobody investigates that line of it in the movie. None of the three men ever think that it might be one of the other two guys that also showed up. Okay? None of them even go there. Why? Because they're stupid. Okay, so that's going on here. Blah, blah, blah. So anyway, Sophie tells Bill that she's 20 years old, and then he gets scared when he realizes this girl is his daughter, even though the audience, we know she might not be his daughter. Okay, he runs away because he is, a pussy. Okay, all the men are in this movie. They all have pussies bigger than the women. Okay, and she chases after him, and he tells her that he must be her dad. Like I said, the thought that it might be the other two guys that showed up at the island with him never even crosses his mind. Okay, Sophie asks Bill to give her away tomorrow. Okay, for her wedding. Okay? Now, all the young gay men arrive for some reason. They just show up now. I guess they got bored of fucking each other in the ass. Okay, and they arrive at the party now with the women, okay? And they're climbing the cliffs, okay, while wearing masks at night. Because that's very safe. It's nighttime, they're fucked up, they're climbing cliffs and they're wearing masks, okay? Of course, nobody's gonna get hurt, right? Anyway, the young women dance with the gay guys, okay? And of course, by gay guys, I mean Sky is there. Okay, yeah, Dominic Cooper's character, the groom, he's there. Okay, and they start dancing and singing and having anal sex to Voulez-Vous, okay, which I guess is an ABBA song. It is. Okay, and Sam's there. Okay, that's Pierce Brosnan character. He shows up as well, and he tells Sophie that he is her father because it just clicked. Okay, while he was walking around looking at men's asses and jerking off in the shrubs, all of a sudden he realized that, wait a minute, maybe Sophie must be my daughter and that's why I'm here. Because I did have sex with her mom 21 years ago. Oh my God, no wonder she likes to draw just like I do. She must be my daughter. Not the other two men that also came with me that also fucked her at the same time. I'm not even going to think that. It must be me. Because Donna's a virtuous, loving woman. And by woman, I mean she was 37 years old when I got her pregnant. So, I must be her daughter. I have to talk to her now. Okay? So Sam tells Sophie that he is, in fact, her father, okay? And Sophie, of course, demands secrecy from all the men. She doesn't want her mom to know any of the things that her and the men talk about. And, of course, they all agree to it because, they do what they're told. Okay? They don't ever question anything. Okay, so Sophie demands that Sam keep that information a secret. And for the 20th time, why do all three men always agree to do whatever the fuck Sophie tells them to do? Okay? They always agree to stay on the island. They agree to leave the island. They agree to hide from their mom. They agree not to talk to the mom. When they do talk to the mom, they agree not to tell her the truth as to why they're there. They keep agreeing to this shit. And none of them are pissed off that Sophie lied to them and tricked them to show up to this fucking island. They're more concerned with how Sophie's doing. Who gives a fuck? Anyway, Sam demands to give her away. Okay, now he does not know that Bill already told her he's going to give her away, and she agreed to it. So now, because for some stupid reason, Sam and Harry and Bill have not figured out that they all fucked Donna at the same time 21 years ago. Okay? They have not figured that out. So they each think that Donna was this virtuous girl who was monogamous and that it was them. They're the fucked up ones. They're the ones that abandoned her because they didn't know. And they feel guilty about it despite the fact that she never fucking told them. So all the guilt in this movie belongs to the men. There's no guilt for Donna. You see what I mean? It's one-sided. These three men are all torturing themselves because they weren't around to raise their daughter. But there's no guilt on Donna's end for depriving her daughter of a father for all her life. The scene that we get, what is Donna's opinion about this? I'm not going to let an ejaculation get between me and my daughter. That's her opinion. That's how she feels about this whole situation. Fuck the men. It's this wedding that can't go wrong. How my daughter thinks about me is the important thing. I don't give a fuck what she thinks about them. They're not important. They're superfluous. I use that word because that's the word that Barbie used in the Barbie movie last year, okay? You see what I mean? That's how these chick flicks are. The men are all superfluous. They don't mean anything. They have no feelings, or they do have feelings, but their feelings don't matter. And they're too stupid to realize it either. You see what I mean? That's just not realistic. So of course that happens, okay? Sam demands to give Sophie away at her wedding. And then after that, he runs off to go fucking paint his toenails. All right. And then, but we're not done yet, okay? Because guess who's next? Harry. Harry decides, yes, Harry, Harry Bright, okay? Colin Cuckforth himself, who gets cheated on by every woman he's ever co-starred with, okay? And in real life, too, his wife screwed him over for a photographer. And that's why they got divorced. Yeah, I'm not making that up. Look it up, all right? Okay, yes, and he's the epitome of what women, by women I mean feminists, claim that men should be. Be like Colin Firth. Oh my God, look at that. He's caring, he's loving, he's giving. He's so kind and considerate, you know. And because of these things, that's the reason I'm going to fuck him over. Okay, because he portrays that. You know, the Bridget Jones Diary boyfriend, okay? He's the guy that, you know, will talk about how much he loves his wife or his girlfriend. Meanwhile, right behind him, his wife's getting fucking filled out like an application by Big Dick Ritchie, okay? That's exactly who Colin Firth is, all right? And that's exactly what Hollywood wants you, the men that watch these movies, to be. They want you to be that. You know why? Because you're not a threat. When you're that, you're not a threat. You're not a threat to their feelings, and you're sure as hell not a threat to their fidelity. You see what I mean? The way they look at it is they're doing you a favor by giving you sex occasionally, okay? They're doing you a favor by letting you support them, okay? So you should be happy and on your knees. You see what I mean? That way they can be free to fuck around on you with the guys that they're really attracted to, but won't commit to them. You see what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. And that's exactly what these chick flicks want you to believe. Okay? This is the idea they want women to have as far as how to think about men. And this is also the idea that they want men to think about themselves. The men that have to sit down and watch these movies. Okay? This is what they want you to be. Weak, complacent. Don't stick up for yourself. Don't have any self-esteem. Don't have any of your own opinions. They better be your wife's opinions, not yours. You see what I mean? That's exactly what they want men to be. Docile. Docile. Okay? Because that's the only way women can be empowered and smart is by making all the men weak. And I'm sorry, that's just never going to happen. It's going to happen in these movies until they finally get rid of this fad. Okay? But it's not going to happen in real life. It's never going to happen in real life. Sorry, it's just not. Okay? It's not. Okay? You're going to find this hard to believe, ladies, okay? But you actually do need us. You actually do need us. Okay? The whole world is not HR. Okay? It's not all childcare. There's other important things out there that men can do better than women. Okay? And if all men are superfluous, then you get rid of all the things that we do. Okay? And you won't be able to survive. Who's going to protect you? Okay? If we get invaded by China right now, who's going to do the fighting against China? Are you going to do it? No, you're not. You're going to want me to do it. And why would I want to? What do I get in return? See what I mean? I get nothing. Nothing. I get treated like shit. I'm told I'm superfluous. And there's a lot of men that feel that way. I don't feel that way. But there's a lot of men that feel that way. Okay? A lot of men that feel that way. And until, crap like this stops, there's always going to be a big divide between men and women. And it bothers me because what I see is I see it coming from the female side that are trying to separate the men from the women. Even right now, even like the elections. Okay, I voted today, by the way. I hope you voted. The Harris campaign, they're promoting wives keeping secrets from their husband. Don't tell your husband who you're really voting for. Because men are all stupid and they can't figure it out on their own. You see what I mean? They're encouraging women to keep secrets from their husbands. What the fuck is that? How's that supposed to make men trust women more now? It's not. It's not. You see what I mean? Anyway. I'm spent, all right? But I'll be back soon to continue my review of Mamma Mia. I thank you for watching this long, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.